Why you're doing what you're doing is often more important than what you're actually doing, buying, spending your time on, why you're doing it, the source of your motivation. In fact, research has found that this can be the difference between taking the same action and whether it brings you long-term joy and fulfillment, or whether it brings you regret, anxiety, and even depression. Why you're doing what you're doing. What is your source of motivation? That's what we're going to explore here. I'm going to share one of the ways in which we can categorize motivation is this one. Intrinsic versus extrinsic. You may have heard these labels before. Intrinsic, meaning doing something for its own sake. Doing something, going and playing that sport because you love it. Going and buying that car because you're a car enthusiast. Compared to extrinsic, which is doing something not because you love it, but because it will bring you some other result, or get rid of some other result. It could be a financial incentive, get money, get attention, get something else, whatever it is. You're doing it to impress other people, whatever it is. Extrinsic, outside of you, compared to intrinsic, within. You love it for what it is. And this difference, even though you can have two people doing the exact same thing, two people can buy a car, two people can go and learn a new sport, can learn how to dance, can learn a new skill, two people can write a blog article, whatever it is, doing the exact same task, buying the same thing, investing in the same thing, spending their time, precious time on the exact same thing, but depending on what their source of motivation is, can make the difference. In fact, research has found that if you're doing something for extrinsic reasons over the long term, you're going into the career that you're going into because it's going to make your parents happy. It's going to make your friends impressed. It's going to give you more money, whatever it is. Research has found that firstly, it gives you no increase in long-term happiness. The car, the likes on Facebook, the social media comments, the fame, the money, the approval from your friends isn't going to make you any more happy than you were before. That's what they found. The second part they found is if you're motivated for intrinsic reasons, you do get that adjustment. You get that fulfillment. You get that love that comes with it. Which means, once again, two people can be doing the exact same thing, but depending on why they're doing it can make the difference. So make sure when you're going into a situation, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Am I doing this to make my parents, my friends, my family happy, to impress other people, to make someone jealous, to get some money, financial incentive, avoid some type of extrinsic result? Or am I doing it because I actually love it? This research has found over the long term, it's okay in the short term. It's okay in the short term to motivate yourself with money or a deadline or whatever. But in the long term, over time, this research has found can lead to, firstly, no extra happiness, but of course, anxiety, even depression, regret. Regret is poison. This can bring you there if you're just spending your whole life living for other people, living for things outside of yourself. Compared to this, they found, will bring you fulfillment, will bring you happiness, will bring you long-term joy. You'll look back on this. If you're doing things, if you're learning skills, spend your time writing things, finding careers that make you passionate, projects that make you intrinsically passionate. You may have heard the phrase, what would you do if money was no object? What would you do if you had all the money in the world? Intrinsic. It gets rid of stuff outside of you. Intrinsic. When you focus here and you match this stuff and you're living in this world where you're doing things that you love, doing things that you love just because of what it is. You're passionate about your work, passionate about who you're spending time, passionate about the topics, the knowledge, the skills, whatever you're doing, the creative pursuits you have. It'll bring you more happiness, more joy. And in fact, it's also shown to increase productivity as well compared to doing things outside of yourself. This is just one separation of intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. And we must consider, if you're watching this, for me, for all of us, we have to consider, be mindful, where's the source of our motivation? Because that's going to make the biggest difference in our life of what's going to give us the results we want, give us the life we want, and what isn't. Go through your life with this in mind. Where is the source of your motivation coming from? And it's highly recommended over the long term you do things you love. Use this advice, use that guidance to go out there, be courageous, and live the life you want.